All right, ladies and gentlemen, NFL Week 4, picking every single game, every single spread. First order of business, Week 3, how did we do? We did not bounce back. Week 1, we killed it. Week 2, we sucked ass. Week 3, on the screen you will see the picture of what we picked. We went straight 500, 8 for 8, no pushes. I guess we'll take it, and then we didn't have any bets that week, so 0-0 there. We'll take it. That's fine. Now on the screen, you'll see a picture of our overall record. We are 22, 23-2, 2 being the pushes, and 2-1 with our bets. So we're below 500. That is embarrassing. That is not where we want to be. We are going to fix that. So we'll do that this week. And first order of business after those order of businesses is any bets I have this week. I usually like to be so confident in them that I already have a slip from Pato, meaning I drove to and from the casino because I felt that good. I don't have one yet. I'm filming this like Thursday early morning. It is 6 in the morning. There's a lot of news and practice reports to catch up on. I don't think I'm betting anything Thursday night. So if I do place a bet at Pato or I'm feeling some type of way, I will comment what I'm playing in the description before Sunday, so you can come look. What I will say, I'll talk about the two places I'm looking right now. But without further ado, let's get into it. We're refreshing it so you know it's fresh. Odds are courtesy of Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Please sponsor us. I want to make sure you guys can see that. Bang, Dallas and the Giants. Dallas is at the Giants. The pick here, Dallas minus 5.5. Reasoning. I feel Giants honestly played one of their better games. Daniel Jones looked serviceable. Neighbors looked good. Singletary looked good. And that was against the Browns defense. What I will say is Myles Garrett did leave with not a foot injury, but feet injury. I guess both his feet are fucked up. But they still look decent. I don't think they can improve much more, if I'm being honest. Where the Cowboys, their run game sucks. Their D-line has been ass. And even their passing game, Dak and CD haven't been quite clicking like last year. So you might say those are all reasons to fade them. To me, that just means we've seen such a shell of what they could be, and that's what the market reflects based off what we have seen. So considering I think the Cowboys have a lot that they could do better with, or the Giants, I don't. That's why I'm going to pick the Cowboys. I view it as a get-right game. Micah Parsons against Daniel Jones, I think could be problematic. Give me the Cowboys, minus 5.5. Next game, kind of similar. Don't know. It is tough to pick the Bengals after losing to Washington at home. But kind of similar. That's, I think, the Panthers' best game all year. It's an Andy Dalton revenge game, but Andy Dalton threw for, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 touchdowns and over 300 yards. Chuba Hubbard, Deontay Johnson, everybody looked good in the Panthers. I don't think they'll have a game where they put up 30, it was either 36, 32 points again the rest of this year. I think we saw their peak. Bengals, while they lost to Washington, they didn't look bad. Zach Moss has looked good. Jamar and Burrow are clicking. It was T. Higgins' first game back from a hamstring injury, and his stats weren't crazy, but he had a couple close touchdowns. I just think the Bengals honestly are trending up. They always have slow starts, and the Panthers' best thing is how much they were slinging it. The Bengals are top 5 in passing yards allowed defensively. Trey Hendrickson still gets a sack a game. I don't love backing the Bengals because they're ass right now, or at least in terms of against the spread. But minus 4, I'll take them. Broncos-Jets. That's a lot of points. What I will, especially considering the Broncos just beat Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay. But Jets are also coming off a hot week where they shafted the Patriots. I'm going to go the Jets here, minus 7.5. Reason being is I think the Jets defense is such a crazy upgrade from the Tampa Bay defense. Tampa Bay is a good team because of their offense when it's clicking. Their offense and defense did not click. The Jets defense is going to be such a big gap where I don't see I'd be surprised if Bo Nix doesn't either fumble or throw a pick. And if he doesn't do either of those, I'd be surprised if he has any explosive plays. With that, the Jets, my biggest concern was their offense. Outside of Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, where's the offense going to come from? We are seeing Lazard look good with his chemistry from Rodgers. Braylon Allen is only like 20, 21 years old. He's looking good. And I think Mike Williams will catch on. So, like, my one concern with the Jets was their offense, and that's looking good. And I think the Broncos probably played one of their better games this year, too. I'm going Jets. Jaguars, Texans, quicker analysis. It's a lot of points, but I just can't back the Jaguars. They're on like an 8-7 game skid dating back to last year. Until they show some decency, like consistently on either side of the ball, I can't. We're going Texans 6.5 on a bounce back week. Rams, Bears. Bears fans, don't panic. I think Rome Odunze, DJ Moore is a really, really good receiving duo. I think Caleb Williams is a franchise quarterback. I think your defensive secondary is like top 5 in the league. But the play calling, offensive line, and run game are all fucking ass. I will say the Rams have a pretty bad defense and they're super injury prone. The play, pick plus 2.5 Rams. Only reason, I think the Bears are a lot more talented as of right now with the injuries to the Rams, is I think the coaching mismatch from Sean McVay to Eberflus is a huge, huge gap. And I think, talented players do show up, but sometimes they have off games, get hurt, whatever. The coaches always show up. I think the play here would be if the Bears are up 6, 7, 3 points at half or just get an early lead, McVay always comes out second half, just makes really good adjustments. So give me the Rams plus 2.5. Vikings, Packers. I'm a biased Packers fan. Initially, I was honestly like, why are the Vikings underdogs? They've been playing out of their mind. Their defensive coordinator, Brian Flores, is killing it. I don't think, outside of Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo in Kansas City, I don't know if there's a better duo, coordinator to coach, than Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell. Packers still have a really good head coach, though. LaFleur is a good head coach. We've been winning with Malik Willis. Now I think Jordan Love plays this week. I have to back the Packers at 2.5 with Jordan Love back if they were already looking good with Malik Willis. I could see me being pleasantly surprised. I don't necessarily think the Vikings will ever cool off completely, but I wouldn't be surprised if some things get figured out as the season goes on. Give me Packers 2.5. Saints, Falcons. We finally saw the Saints not drop 40 points, which I think people expected to slow down. We're going Falcons 2.5. Biggest thing is my concern for the Falcons was Kirk. He looks fine now, and their depth. But Ray McLeod and Darnell Mooney have been looking good, so their offensive depth to me is solved. I don't have concerns over it. Saints, Derek Carr didn't look good last week against the Eagles defense. I think Falcons defense is up there or as good, if not better. Give me the Falcons 2.5. Philly, Tampa Bay is a fucking headache. This is one of the games that I hate. I look at it and I say Tampa Bay at home lost to the Broncos. Philly is better than the Broncos. Give me Philly. But then their offense is so depleted. Devontae Smith will be out with a concussion. A.J. Brown will be out with his hammy. They have a bye week next week. They're going to take caution. Lane Johnson, their best offensive lineman, probably also going to be out with a concussion. So to me, I just say 3 of your best 5, 6 offensive players are gone. And you're on the road against a team that's not dog shit. Give me Tampa. Long story short, we're going Eagles. Biggest reason is despite them being depleted, they still won the game against the Saints, which are formidable. And to me, it's different if all those injuries happened and then they fell apart and looked like shit, or it happened to the end of the game and we didn't know what they were going to look like. We still saw them finish out the game strong. Saquon is good enough to be a focal point of an offense. He did that with Daniel fucking Jones in New York. Jalen Hurts is better. I know their receiving core is depleted, but Dallas Goedert looked decent. I think they have enough pieces. The biggest thing is their defense showed up. If Philly's defense is playing at all decent, I trust their offense will do enough, and Tampa Bay's really just an offensive team. So, plays Philly -2, but I could very well see Tampa Bay, but we'll take Philly. Steelers, Colts, we're going Pittsburgh. Anthony Richardson's completion percentage is below 50%. Outside of the Bears, every team that has faced the Colts has been able to put up over 150 rushing yards on them. Steelers have Najee Harris and Cordell Patterson, who are very much bruising backs. Jalen Warren's hurt. I don't know if he'll be limited or sit, but I just think a struggling quarterback going against a really good defense is already problematic. Then you look at it where the Steelers like to just have a slow ground and pound and control the game. That's like the Colts' weakness defensively. And I think just the more weeks Justin Fields knows he's the guy and gets comfortable, the better. So give me the Steelers -1.5. Patriots 49ers. This one's tough because 10 points is fucking crazy. How I look at it is the Patriots looked good their first 2 games when Ramondre Stevenson was running the ball well. He had a shit game against the Jets. They played like shit. The 49ers defense is better against the run than it is passing in terms of yards allowed. So I could see Ramondre slowing down and that being problematic for the Patriots. And then football math doesn't always work, but if you ask me, Jets right now, 49ers right now, who's better? I don't really know. You can make the case for either or, and the Jets beat them by 21 points. So we're going 49ers -10, not saying, oh my God, they're going to beat them by 21 points. I just think if they at all slow down the ground game, which is where their defense is better, then the Patriots have to throw it. And even with the injuries the 49ers have, George Kittle will be back this week. Ayuk is only going to get better, and Jawan Jennings filled in. Jordan Mason's not a scrub either. Like, Ayuk and Kittle alone's a good supporting cast. Mason and Jawan Jennings aren't scrubs. I see them being able to put up points. I also see, because they choked away the game last week, them kind of being a bit more aggressive, and I think the Patriots want a slow game. So give me Niners -10. Commanders, Cardinals. That one's tough. It's going to be no defense whatsoever, hence the over-under being 50.5. That's the most this week. Washington's defense is ass. Cardinals' defense is ass. I guess it's just like which offense you trust more, and Jaden Daniels balled the fuck out in prime time against the Bengals. I had some reserves about him. Now I'm all aboard the hype train. What I will say, though, is I still trust Kyler Murray more. Kyler Murray's been in the league multiple years. It's Kyler, James Conner, and Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Jaden Daniels, like Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson Jr. I honestly think those are pretty close, but I lean the Cardinals in terms of talent, in terms of years of experience. Also, Austin Eckler is going to be out for the Commanders, which I don't think is a huge hit, but he did give them some juice offensively, some juice on special teams. Trey McBride, I don't think plays. He's in concussion protocol. Most people miss a week and then come back. So we'll see. I'm just going Cardinals because they've been there for longer. Browns, Raiders. Both of these teams fucking sucked. Browns were favored 6.5. Raiders were favored 5.5, and both of them just lost straight up. My thing here is the Browns have yet to put up 20 points. Raiders don't have a good defense, and I could see them doing that, but like the Raiders, I at least know offensively they're usually pretty good. Even if not, they have Max Crosby, which if the Browns are already struggling and then you have Max Crosby, I look at it, they're both dog shit. Give me the home team. And then also like Myles Garrett, he says he's going to play through his injuries, but he left the game last week with not just a foot injury, but feet. Like both of his feet are hurt. They're saying he also has a thigh injury, some other shit he's playing through. If he takes any snaps off or something, he's their best player. Give me the Raiders. I also think Antonio Pierce is a dude who doesn't give a fuck. He's a like very in-your-face motivator. With them playing bad, I feel they're going to have a big bounce back. So Raiders -2. Chiefs, Chargers. 7.5 is a lot. The thing is, the Chargers, Joe Alt is going to be out. He has an MCL sprain. I don't know where I saw it. I don't know if it's still considered questionable, but I don't think Joe Alt plays. And to be honest, I think Joe Alt is already their best player. He is that good, that just disgusting. You could argue Herbert. Regardless, Alt is out, and he's their second or best player. Herbert left last week with an ankle injury, and it was a re-aggravated ankle injury, which usually makes it worse. I think he's trending to play, but in reports, he mentioned that they were thinking of holding him out because they have a bye next week, but he said he doesn't think we're going that route. To me, Herbert plays, but your best tackle is going to be out, and your quarterback is going to be limited mobility, ankle injured, and you're going to have Chris Jones coming at you. That's already problematic. Then you add in Derwin James, one of their better safeties. He is suspended. I don't know how he is suspended and Rashee Rice isn't. Chiefs are the NFL's darling. That bodes well for the Chiefs. And then Rashawn Slater, their other tackle, he's questionable and might not play. And so is Joey Bosa. So to me, it's just like, it's fucking brutal. To me, just with Joe Alt being out and Derwin James, I already kind of like the Chiefs. Maybe not 7.5, but if you're 2 tackles, the Chargers' best thing's their run game. They get a ton of yards before contact. They're top 5 in the NFL in that. If your 2 tackles are missing or even one of them, that's bad. And then if your defensive safety and Joey Bosa, your edge rusher, trying to slow down the Chiefs aren't there, the Chiefs haven't had a convincing win. It's been 7 or less points in all of them. Maybe this is the week they get it done. I could see like a 30-21, a 27-17. I don't know. We're picking Chiefs minus 7.5. We'll come back to them. Bills, Ravens. I don't love the Bills at plus 2.5, but we're taking it. Josh Allen's the MVP right now. Ravens, they allow the most passing yards in the NFL. I honestly, if I had a bet, this is the highest scoring game of the week, actually, over Cardinals and Commanders. I just have a lot more faith in Josh Allen and Lamar showing up than Jaden and Kyler. But I think the Ravens have a better defense. I think Henry's a better running back than James Cook. I don't know how good the Bills' run defense is. I'm just rocking with Josh Allen until I'm proven wrong, especially as underdog. Give me them plus 2.5. Titans, Dolphins. Will Levis is a turnover fucking machine. However, the Titans' defense is good, and they're going to be playing a backup quarterback, whether it's Tyler Huntley, whether it is Skylar Thompson. And I think one thing that might help Levis is he did show his chemistry with DeAndre Hopkins, who's officially back to health now. I think that might help him make less turnovers or at least a more competent offense. So I'm rocking the Titans as underdogs, just a backup quarterback against a good defense. And Will Levis's turnovers are baked into this. So give me them at +1. Seahawks, Lions. I'm going Lions. Seahawks are 3-0. They've shown they can do it on the ground. They've shown they can do it in the air. I just think the Lions have too much depth. Like, their receiving weapons, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra. I know Laporta's hurt. I like more than JSN and DK Metcalf. Not by a ton, but I do. And then Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty, to me, is the best two-headed punch in terms of running backs. I think the biggest thing is defense. Like, Aiden Hutchinson's a problem. Geno Smith has been great, but he's not good under pressure, at least going back to last year. So we're going Lions minus 3.5. Quick recap. Cowboys minus 5.5. Bengals minus 4. Jets minus 7.5. Texans minus 6.5. Rams plus 2.5. Packers minus 2.5. Falcons minus 2.5. Eagles minus 2. Holy fuck. I need a drink of water. Steelers minus 1.5. 49ers minus 10. Cardinals minus 3.5. Raiders minus 2. Chiefs minus 7.5. Bills plus 2.5. Titans plus 1. Lions minus 3.5. I don't have a bet yet, so I don't have a slip. Like I said, look in the comments. But what I will say I'm looking at right now is the Chiefs and the Steelers. Right now, I don't hate a teaser, like getting them up to plus 4.5, 5.5. What would it be? At minus 2 to go to plus 4. Yeah, like plus 5.5, where they could lose by a field goal, and then Chiefs only have to win by a field goal. I also might be laddering the Chiefs, just doing them at minus 2.5 to win by a field goal, doing them at 5.5, 6, because I could see them with these injuries scorching the Chargers. They haven't had an offensive game where they've looked really like the Chiefs yet. I could see it happening. So look in the comments. I'll probably be doing something. Right now it's probably going to be Pittsburgh or Chiefs related. If it changes, I'll let you guys know. Those are the Week 4 picks. Bet responsibly. Shout out Pato.